Today, we uncover the chilling story of Gary Ridgway, infamously known as the Green River Killer. A man who hid in plain sight, Ridgway's seemingly ordinary life masked the horrifying reality of one of the most prolific serial killers in American history. His reign of terror spanned decades, leaving an indelible scar on the nation and the families of his victims. What drove this man to commit such heinous acts? And how did he manage to evade justice for so long? Let's unravel the dark truth behind Gary Ridgway's crimes and the lives he destroyed. The early 1980s in Washington state saw a wave of terror sweep through the region. The Green River, a tranquil waterway, became the dumping ground for a series of gruesome murders. Women, mostly young and vulnerable, were disappearing only to be discovered lifeless along the riverbanks. It was clear that a predator was at work, and his thirst for killing seemed insatiable. Law enforcement quickly identified a pattern. The victims were primarily sex workers or runaways, often lured by promises of money or safety. The killer's signature, a horrifying mark of strangulation, set the tone for one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history. Ridgway was born in 1949 in Salt Lake City, Utah. His childhood was marred by instability and troubling relationships. Accounts from those who knew him described a tumultuous home life with a domineering mother who humiliated and controlled him. This dynamic left lasting psychological scars and shaped Ridgway's troubling attitudes toward women. Despite his early red flags, Ridgway appeared to lead a normal life. He was a devoted churchgoer, a married man, and a dedicated worker at a truck factory for nearly 30 years. This facade of normalcy allowed him to blend seamlessly into his community, evading suspicion while committing his heinous crimes.
Ridgway's victims often shared a similar profile: young women who were vulnerable due to their circumstances. He would approach them with a friendly demeanor, sometimes offering rides or assistance, gaining their trust. Once isolated, he would overpower them, strangling them with his bare hands or a ligature.
But Ridgway didn't stop at murder. In a macabre display of his depravity, he often revisited the bodies, engaging in necrophilic acts, a detail that stunned investigators and the public alike. By 1982, the Green River Task Force was formed, consisting of some of the nation's top investigators, including the renowned FBI profiler John Douglas. Despite their efforts, Ridgway remained elusive. Leads poured in, but the sheer volume of potential suspects overwhelmed the team. Ridgway himself was questioned multiple times. He even passed a polygraph test in 1984, a chilling reminder of his ability to manipulate the system. The breakthrough came years later, in the early 2000s, with the advent of DNA technology. Investigators revisited the evidence, meticulously reanalyzing samples from the crime scenes. In 2001, DNA linked Ridgway to the murders of Marcia Chapman, Opal Mills, and other women. His arrest marked the end of his reign, but it also opened a Pandora's box of confessions. Ridgway admitted to killing at least 49 women, though the true number may never be known. Ridgway claimed his motivation was a deep-seated hatred for women, particularly sex workers, whom he viewed as easy targets. His lack of empathy and insatiable desire for control defined his killing spree. Despite his admissions, Ridgway showed little remorse, describing his actions in a detached and chilling manner. His trial revealed a man devoid of humanity, driven by a warped sense of purpose. In 2003, Ridgway pleaded guilty to 49 counts of murder in a deal that spared him the death penalty in exchange for full cooperation. He received life imprisonment without parole, a fate some viewed as too lenient for his atrocities. For the families of the victims, Ridgway's conviction offered closure but not solace. The scars he left remain, a haunting reminder of his evil. The story of Gary Ridgway serves as a grim cautionary tale, a reminder of the darkness that can hide behind the most unassuming of faces. His case reshaped law enforcement's approach to investigating serial murders, emphasizing the importance of technology and perseverance. But above all, it is the voices of his victims that must never be forgotten. Their lives, cut short by one man's monstrous actions, deserve to be remembered and honored. What do you think drove Ridgway to such extremes? And how can we prevent such tragedies in the future? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories from Criminal Department.